You know that feeling when you think you're doing something sweet, and it turns into the moment that changes everything? That was me with a deli bag and a spare key. I'm Ava, 28, graphic designer, lived what I thought was a pretty solid life. And this is how one lunch break demolished a 3-year relationship and gave me the blueprint for the perfect revenge. Let me paint the picture. I worked at a marketing firm downtown. Nothing fancy, but I was good at what I did. My boyfriend Elijah was in sales at a tech company, pulled in around $60,000. We'd been together nearly 3 years, had that comfortable rhythm going. Talking about making things more permanent, you know? I trusted him. Completely. That's the part that stings looking back. I was the person who always gave people the benefit of the doubt, who believed what they told me. But here's the thing, your gut knows before your brain catches up. It started maybe 6 months before everything exploded. Little things. Nothing huge, just off. He started working late more often. 3, 4 nights a week suddenly. Got this new cologne one day, definitely not something I'd bought him. His phone got a password when it never had one before. I'd notice. Of course I noticed. I'm detail-oriented for a living. But every time that little voice whispered something's wrong, I'd logic my way out of it. He's got a big project at work. Everyone needs privacy with their phone. I'm being paranoid. Turns out that little voice? Yeah, you should listen to it. The Tuesday everything came crashing down started normal enough. I'd finished a design project early, felt productive, was in a good mood. Around noon, I had this idea. Why not surprise Elijah with lunch? He'd been saying he was swamped all week, eating at his desk every day. His favorite deli was on my way. I grabbed sandwiches, chips, the whole deal. I had a spare key to his place downtown. We weren't living together yet, but we'd done the key exchange thing about a year back. Trust stuff, you know? Water plants, grab whatever, that level of relationship. I let myself in with that key. The apartment felt weird immediately. Not empty, but not right either. Like that moment when you walk into a room and people just stopped talking. You can feel it in the air. I heard voices from the living room. Movement. I turned the corner. And there they were. Elijah and his coworker Melissa. On the couch. Together. Very together. Time did that thing where it slows down and speeds up at once. My brain couldn't process what I was seeing. The deli bag slipped from my hands and hit the floor. That's what made them look up. Elijah's face went completely white. Like someone pulled a drain plug and all the color just left. Melissa scrambled up, grabbing at clothes. I recognized her, met her at company happy hours, holiday parties. She'd always been friendly. They worked on the same sales team. I'd never once thought anything weird about it. Ava, Elijah's voice cracked. I held up my hand. Couldn't speak yet. Could barely breathe. My hands were shaking, fingers numb, floor tilting under me. This isn't, Melissa started. Get out. My voice sounded like it belonged to someone else. She left fast, grabbed her stuff, and practically ran for the door. Then it was just us. Elijah started talking immediately. All the standard lines. It was a mistake. It just happened. It doesn't mean anything. The cheater's greatest hits. But I wasn't listening. Not really. Because something clicked in my head. That cold clarity that comes after shock. In that moment, I had a choice. I could scream, cry, throw things. Make a scene. Or I could think. Be smart. Strategic. I grabbed his phone off the coffee table. He'd been so panicked he left it unlocked. Opened his messages. Started taking screenshots. As many as I could manage before he realized. What are you doing? Give me that. Too late. Already sent them to myself. Deleted the sent messages. Handed it back. I need to go, I said. My voice was steady somehow. Wait, please, we need to talk. I'll call you later. The relief on his face was almost funny. He thought I'd be reasonable. That we'd work through it like adults. That I'd forgive him eventually. I made it to my car in the parking garage before I completely lost it. Sat there shaking, crying, unable to breathe. Everything made sense now. All those late nights. The cologne. The phone secrecy. The distance. Melissa. It had been Melissa all along. I sat there maybe 20 minutes. And then the crying stopped. The shaking stopped. And underneath all that shock was ice-cold anger. According to those screenshots, Melissa had texted him, "She's so clueless," with laughing emojis. They thought I was stupid, that I'd never figure it out. Well, time to show them exactly how not stupid I could be. I didn't go back to work. Called in sick. Technically true, I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. But instead of going home, I drove straight to my best friend Jessica's apartment. She worked in HR at a different company, and if anyone would know what to do next, it was her. "He what?" She actually shouted when I told her. I showed her the screenshots I'd grabbed. Not many, but enough. References to meeting up. Inside jokes. That line, "She's so clueless." "Okay," Jessica said, her voice shifting to business mode. "First, you did exactly the right thing grabbing these. Don't delete them. Second, you need more information before you make any moves. And third, call my friend David Chin. He's a lawyer. He'll know how to protect you." "I want to know everything first," I said. My voice was steady now. The tears were done. "How long? How much?" "All of it." "Smart," Jessica nodded. "Document everything." That night, while Elijah blew up my phone with apologies, I started digging. We shared a credit card. I'd never looked at the statements closely. We split expenses. Everything seemed fair. But now I logged in and went through every charge for the past year. There it was. The whole sordid story in merchant codes and dollar amounts. Hotel charges. The same hotel downtown over and over. About every other week for 6 months. Sometimes on weeknights when he worked late. A few weekends when he had conferences. Restaurant charges at places we'd never been together. Purchases at jewelry stores, gifts I never received. A lingerie store. I almost laughed at that one. Almost. I made a spreadsheet. Documented everything. Dates, amounts, locations. It added up to over $8,000. $8,000 of our shared money, funding his affair. Then I remembered Find My iPhone. We'd set it up on each other's phones ages ago, one of those couple things. I still had access on my old tablet. I pulled up his location history. Every single time. He said he was working late, his phone was at that hotel. Not the office. Every conference, weekend matched hotel charges perfectly. Dozens of times, his location proved he'd lied. I saved everything. Downloaded data. Took screenshots. Next, the shared cloud storage. I barely used it, but Elijah backed up his photos there. That's where I found the vacation pictures. From his work trip last summer. The solo trip to network with clients, he'd said. The trip I'd helped pay for with our joint account. Except Melissa was in half the photos. Beach. Restaurants. Hotel room selfies. I downloaded everything. Every photo. Every piece of proof. By midnight, I had it all. Months of documented infidelity. Text messages. Credit card statements showing over $8,000 spent. Location data proving constant lies. Photos of them on a vacation I'd paid for. "You good?" Jessica texted around 1 a.m. Getting there, I replied. "I have everything. Every lie documented." What's next? I thought about it. I could confront him now. Scream. Maybe feel better for a minute. Or I could be strategic. Protect myself. Make sure when this ended, and it was definitely ending, I came out ahead. "Bank first thing tomorrow," I texted back. Then the lawyer. "That's my girl." First thing the next morning, I went to our bank. Joint savings account, about $30,000 we'd been saving for a house. Our future. Except we didn't have a future. I opened a new account. Just my name. Transferred exactly half, around $15,000. My money. My contribution. Left his half. Was I worried he'd drain it once he figured out I wasn't coming back? Absolutely. He'd already spent $8,000 of shared money on hotels for another woman. Who knew what else he'd do? Then I called David Chin. "Tell me everything," he said after I explained why I needed a lawyer. I laid it out. Not married, but 3 years together. Both names on the apartment lease. Shared credit card. Joint savings I'd just split. And all the evidence I'd collected. "You've done your homework," he said, sounding impressed. "Since you're not married, this is actually more straightforward. but document everything going forward. Every contact attempt, every text. If he causes problems with the lease, you'll be fine with this evidence. We talked for over an hour. He explained my options, how to protect myself, what to do about the shared credit card. By the end, I had a clear plan. And through all of this, I still hadn't really talked to Elijah. His texts had evolved from apologetic to angry. You can't just ignore me. This is childish. We need to talk. I didn't respond much. Occasional short replies. I need time. Not ready yet. Kept him thinking forgiveness was possible. Meanwhile, I kept gathering evidence. Every text he sent, I screenshotted. He charged another $500 on the credit card that week, probably taking Melissa out. I documented that too. I checked his social media. Found old photos where Melissa was in the background. Comments between them that looked different now. The more I looked, the more I found. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This was at least 6 months of calculated deception. Maybe longer. And I documented all of it. Calmly. Methodically. Building an airtight case. 2 weeks after catching them, I made my decision. Breaking up wasn't enough. Not for this. He'd humiliated me. Lied for months. Spent thousands of our money on another woman. Made me feel crazy for noticing signs. Everyone needed to know what he'd done. His company had policies about workplace relationships. I'd seen the presentations at holiday parties. Coworkers dating had to disclose it to HR. Especially people on the same team. Elijah and Melissa hadn't disclosed anything. I found their company's anonymous reporting system online. Submitted a detailed report about 2 sales team employees in an undisclosed relationship. Included dates. Left it anonymous. Let HR figure it out. Next, the credit card. I called, explained we were separating, needed to protect myself. They let me remove my name. The balance, around $12,000 now, was his problem. Then came the hardest part. His family. His parents adored me. Monthly dinners for 2 years. His mom called on holidays. They'd welcomed me completely. They deserved the truth. I wrote a careful email. Professional. Factual. Attached key evidence, hotel charges, some text messages, my timeline. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Harrison. This is difficult to write, but you deserve to know the truth. On that Tuesday, I discovered Elijah has been having an affair with his coworker Melissa for at least 6 months. I'm attaching evidence. Hotel charges over $8,000. Text messages. Photos from last summer's work trip. We've been together 3 years. You've been wonderful to me. I felt you should know before hearing his version. I'm sorry to bring this to you. Ava. I sent it. Turned off my phone for a few hours because I couldn't handle what might come next. When I turned it back on, messages from his mom. Multiple voicemails. Ava, honey, I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry. This isn't how we raised him. Please call when you're ready. She was crying in the voicemails. But she believed me. The evidence was undeniable. Elijah's texts came fast after that. Panicked. What did you tell them? They're calling. What did you say? You had no right. I had every right. His birthday was that Friday. Big family dinner at his parents' house. I'd been invited weeks ago. His mom texted separately, she still wanted me there. We're having a conversation with him, she wrote. I think you should be there. He needs to face this. Perfect. I spent the week preparing. Printed the most damning evidence. Organized it into folders. Credit card statements with charges highlighted. Message screenshots. Vacation photos. Complete timeline. Professional. Neat. Undeniable. I also contacted our landlord about the lease. With the evidence I had, he agreed to let me off without penalty. Elijah's problem now. I started moving my stuff out. Slowly, while he was at work. Jessica helped. By Thursday, everything important was gone. You're really doing this at his birthday? Jessica asked while we packed. His whole family will be there, I said. He can't run. Can't spin the story. They'll all see exactly who he is. I love it, Jessica said. Absolutely savage. Friday morning, Elijah texted. You're still coming tonight? My mom said you were. I'll be there. Maybe we can talk after? Really talk. He still thought he could fix this. Still thought he could charm his way back. He had no idea. Friday evening, 6 o'clock. His parents' house in a nice suburb. I wore a simple dress, nothing fancy. Put together. Calm. Professional. The folder was in my bag. His mom answered the door. Hugged me tight. You okay, sweetie? I will be. Inside, the house was packed. Parents, his sister Rachel with her husband, his brother Matt, aunts, uncles. About 15 people celebrating Elijah's 30th birthday. He was in the living room. His face lit up when he saw me, then got nervous. He'd been trying to gauge where we stood all week. Hey, he said, walking over. Tried to kiss my cheek. I turned, gave him my temple. Happy birthday. Dinner started normally. Appetizers, small talk, family updates. I participated when asked, smiled appropriately. Waited. Dessert came out. Birthday cake, candles, singing. Elijah blew them out looking uncomfortable but playing along. His dad raised his glass. To Elijah on 30 years. Everyone raised theirs. I stood up. Actually, I'd like to say something. The room went quiet. Elijah looked at me, fear creeping into his eyes. I want to toast Elijah too, I said calmly. Who's worked so incredibly hard these past months. All those late nights. All those conferences. His face changed. He knew something was coming. Such dedication, I continued. Those long hours. The commitment to his career. Ava, he started. But here's what's interesting. I pulled out the folder. Those late nights? He wasn't at work. Silence. What's going on? His dad asked. I opened the folder. Pulled out the first credit card statement. Walked over, placed it in front of his parents. I'm talking about his coworker Melissa. And over $8,000 spent on hotels in 6 months. His mother gasped. Ava, please, not here. Elijah stood, voice desperate. Not here. I turned to him. Where then? Private? Like when you texted Melissa, she's so clueless while I planned this party. I handed screenshots to his sister Rachel. Text messages, I said. Dozens. Going back months. This is crazy, Elijah tried. Is it? I pulled out my phone, showed photos. These are from your work trip last summer. The one I helped pay for. Matt looked at the photos, eyes widening. That's Melissa. Your coworker. It was a mistake, Elijah's voice cracked. One time, it didn't mean anything. One time. I laughed coldly. I have proof of dozens. Want to tell everyone about your favorite downtown hotel? The one you visited every other week. His mom was looking through the statements, tears streaming. These dates, you told us you were working. I can explain. The hotel is 5 minutes from your apartment, his dad said, voice hard. You weren't working. You were with her. I placed the location history on the table. This is 6 months of his phone's location data. Every late night at the office, his phone was at that hotel. Every single time. Elijah's face was completely white. Mouth opening and closing. No words. Rachel was staring at the texts I'd given her, disgust clear on her face. You told her Ava was clueless? She trusted you completely, his mom said, still crying. We thought you were going to propose. I was. Elijah said desperately. I was going to. It was a mistake, it meant nothing. Nothing. I let out a bitter laugh. Over $8,000 on nothing? 6 months of lies for nothing. How could you do this? Matt asked quietly. He looked genuinely shocked. Elijah grabbed for my arm. I stepped back. Please, he begged. Can we just talk alone? No. Simple. Final. I'm done talking. Done with all of it. I took off the promise ring. The one he gave me last year. The one that supposedly meant something. Placed it on the table next to all the evidence. Happy birthday, Elijah, I said. Good luck explaining this. I grabbed my bag, walked to the door. Behind me, his family erupted. Questions, accusations, his mom crying harder. Ava, wait. Elijah tried following. His dad's hand on his shoulder stopped him. Let her go. But, you've done enough, his dad said, voice colder than I'd ever heard. I walked out into the cool evening air. Behind me, voices raised. Elijah arguing. His family confronting him. All of it spilling out. I got in my car. Started the engine. drove away. And for the first time in 3 weeks, I could breathe. The next few days were chaos on his end. My end stayed calm. Elijah sent hundreds of texts, called from different numbers when I blocked him. Showed up at my apartment once, Jessica answered the door, all 6 feet of her, and he left fast. My lawyer sent a cease and desist. That slowed things down. His mom called a week later. "I'm so sorry, honey. I don't understand how he could do this." "You didn't do anything wrong," I told her. "He made his choices. We told him he needs to make this right. Pay you back. Take responsibility. That's what lawyers are for." It took about 4 months to untangle everything legally. The credit card debt, around $12,000, was his to pay. The joint savings I'd split, I kept my $15,000. Through the lawyer, got another $7,000 from his portion to cover part of what he'd stolen. About $22,000 total. All the furniture we'd bought together? Mine. He didn't fight it. The lease? My name came off, no penalty. He found a roommate to afford rent. The lawyer fees? His bill. Another $3,000. The anonymous workplace report came through. HR investigated. Both Elijah and Melissa got officially reprimanded for policy violations. Nothing fireable, but permanent records. Elijah was up for a promotion, would have meant around a $15,000 raise. Didn't get it. The HR issue played a role, apparently. His career just stalled. Melissa left the company a few months later. Couldn't handle the whispers, the knowing looks. Their industry is small. Word spread. Her reputation took a serious hit. Their relationship lasted about 3 months after everything exploded. Turns out affairs built on lies don't make great foundations. She dumped him. Didn't want the drama. Or maybe realized if he cheated with her, he'd cheat on her. His brother Matt kept me updated occasionally. Elijah moved to a smaller place on the city outskirts. Got a roommate for rent. Still at the same job, same salary, struggling more financially. Lost the stability we'd built together. And me? 6 months later, I got promoted. Senior designer. Salary jumped to around $75,000. Turns out focusing on my career instead of relationship drama actually pays off. I moved into a gorgeous 1-bedroom in a better neighborhood. Decorated exactly how I wanted. Minimalist, plants everywhere, completely my style. Rebuilt my savings past $25,000. No joint accounts. No shared anything. Just my money, my space, my life. I reconnected with friends I'd neglected. Started going to trivia nights weekly. Took a pottery class. Joined a running group on weekends. Built a life that was fully mine. Started casually seeing someone new recently, photographer we hired for a campaign. We're taking it slow. No pressure. Just enjoying it. And I sleep better now. No gut feelings. No questions. No checking phones or wondering. Just peace. A year after everything, Elijah tried reaching out on my birthday. Long text about being sorry, changing, wanting to talk. I deleted it halfway through. Didn't respond. Because here's what I learned from all this. Trust your gut. Always. If something feels wrong, investigate. Get evidence quietly. Protect yourself first. Don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking you're paranoid or crazy. That confrontation at his birthday dinner? Brutal, yes. But necessary. His family needed to see the real him. He needed to face consequences publicly. No running, no spin, no making me the villain. The best revenge wasn't the money, though getting it back felt good. Wasn't even exposing him, though that was satisfying. The best revenge was building a life so much better than what I had with him. He thought I'd fall apart without him. Thought I couldn't handle being alone. Thought I'd eventually forgive him and come back. Instead, promotion. Better apartment. Better life. Actual happiness. Sometimes betrayal really is a blessing in disguise. That spare key to his apartment, the one meant to show trust? Best mistake he made giving it to me. Saved me years of wasted time with the wrong person. I'm thriving. He's still explaining to dates why his last serious relationship ended so badly. Still dealing with family awkwardness. Still stuck in the mess he created. I walked away with everything that mattered. My dignity. My money. My peace. My future. And I don't regret a single strategic move I made. If you're reading this and something feels off in your relationship, trust yourself. Document everything. Stay calm. Get smart. Protect yourself first. Always. You deserve someone who doesn't make you doubt yourself. Who doesn't require phone monitoring or location tracking. Who doesn't give you reasons to question their loyalty. The right person makes you feel secure, not suspicious. So trust your gut. Get proof if you need it. Protect yourself. And then walk away with your head high. Sometimes the best revenge is simply being undeniably, obviously, completely better off without them.